Hello. So for this activity, we had to read about two different cases and reflect on its ethics. So, for instance, on case number one, which is Mark G, which is a sixth grade teacher, he corrects exams where students did pretty low, and instead of writing information that could help the students understand what they did wrong, he writes things like "you're a loser" and "who cares?" Yeah, and "you're a loser" and "were you sleeping when we talked about this?" and so on. Personally, I don't believe this is what a teacher should do. According to the manual of conduct for examinations, a teacher would be an examination user, and examination user has to give the examination feedback in a reasonable way, and comments like such are not reasonable at all. And for instance, the case number two, where the teacher allows the students to cheat, is completely pointless because it makes the purpose of having an examination not valid. Because the point of having examination is to have a valid, to know how much your students did learn, and if the skill or in a specific area was achieved. But if you let students cheat, then they can just cheat, and you don't, as a teacher, you cannot really say if the students learned or did not learn. From the manual, there are things which I took out that said that the examination users have to provide prompt and easily understood reports of examination results that describe candidate performance clearly and accurately. In case number one, where the teacher says that, "oh, you're a loser, did you pay attention?" this is not achieved. Then there's another point in the manual that said, describes a procedure used to establish pass marks and or grades. If a teacher only gives you negative comments throughout your test, then you don't understand, "oh, I made a grammar mistake, I made this mistake, and then these points were lowered." You don't understand that. You just understand that you did a pretty bad job and you're probably a loser, rather than understanding how the grade was obtained. And then examination developers and users, they have a duty towards candidates and are under an obligation to set and maintain high standards of fair behavior. This fair behavior is basically a student not having the favorite in the class. This is not present in any of the cases, but it is really unfair the way that the exam is given by letting the students cheat, and it's really unfair the results which are given on the exam number one, that is, students are losers, basically. And examination users should interpret scores correctly. "You're a loser" is not a score, and that's not a right interpretation of what a score is. So, well, yeah, I believe like those two cases in particular are really, really bad cases, and teachers like this should not be part of any institution which give out exams. And these things should be reported, especially the second case where the teacher asked the students, "oh, don't tell the principal or your parents that I let you cheat." It is, the students have to tell them because they're not learning what their parents are paying their students to learn, and they're not getting the knowledge they're supposed to be getting. So yeah, I believe these two cases are really talk really bad about a teacher and about examination.